Hey guys, tonight we step into a forest where music sleeps inside the trees and riddles bloom from moss-covered stone. You're about to follow a trail not marked on any map, only whispered in dreams and carved into the memory of the land itself. One wrong note and the path curls back on itself. But if you're patient, if you listen, really listen, you just might reach the secret that even the Aranara forgot. You probably won't survive this kind of puzzle unless your soul is at least half poet. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is right now. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You arrive at the edge of the rainforest just before first light. The world is still, so still that even your footsteps feel like they echo in the leaves. Sumeru's trees don't just grow, they breathe, and beneath their tangled canopies lies the first note of a forgotten riddle. The locals didn't give you much, just a name whispered like a cautionary tale, Aralohita. Some say it's an old forest spirit. Others claim it's the remnant of a song that went wrong. Either way, it's waiting. You step off the path, the air thickens, you can feel it on your skin, in your chest. Moss coats everything, ruins loom, melted into the terrain like forgotten architecture. There, at the edge of a ravine, a small circular clearing, marked by 3 ancient stones. Each one bears a different carving. A bird with its wings folded, asleep in twilight. A Shroomboar with curled tusks and mossy fur. A Rishboland tiger crouched as if ready to pounce, but frozen mid-thought. You reach out. The birdstone hums softly under your fingertips. Not sound exactly, just a vibration like a memory trying to wake up. Then the boar, then the tiger, each pulse stronger than the last. You step back and nothing happens. Then something does. From behind the stones, glowing orbs begin to float up into the air, dendro-colored and pulsing faintly like fireflies in rhythm. 3 of them. One to your left, one to your right, one in the center. You remember the sequence from the runes. Bird, boar, tiger, middle, left, right. That's the order. There's an auspicious branch nearby, a crooked little sapling glowing faintly. You draw Dendrograna from it, essence of the forest's memory, and knock your bow. This isn't about strength, it's about timing. If you shoot too early, the orbs fade. If you wait too long, they vanish entirely. You loose your arrows, center orb, then left, then right. Silence. Then a breath. The ground trembles slightly, not enough to scare, but enough to suggest you've been seen. A luxurious chest rises from the earth like a gift long overdue. Inside, mora, trinkets, and a single clue carved onto a curled piece of bark. To find the song, play where the hollow listens. Poetic, vague, infuriating, just like Sumeru. There's a stump nearby, massive, gnarled and hollow at the center. You run your fingers along its rim. There, etched inside the bark, is a faint lyre symbol. This is it. The real riddle hasn't even started yet. Mainstream factual detail. The Vintage Lyre was introduced in Genshin Impact's Rhythms of the Forest event, and remains a key puzzle tool in Sumeru, especially when interacting with Aranara architecture. Quirky tidbit. The Rishboland tiger carving in the puzzle mimics a real-life feline posture called the stalk hold, a behavior where tigers freeze mid-step to lower their profile, often mistaken by tourists as a statue. Open scholarly debate. Some Genshin lore analysts argue Aralohita may represent an abandoned narrative branch from early Dendro Archon quests, symbolizing a song that went unheard by the divine. Light joke. 1. You know it's a serious puzzle when even the moss looks judgmental. Light joke 2. The forest hums gently, like a lullaby. If lullabies had the energy of your grandma testing you on multiplication tables. Light joke 3. You open the chest expecting a clue, and instead it offers mora. Thanks, forest. Guess I'll tip the next tree that helps me. You descend deeper into the forest, past weeping branches and singing beetles. The humidity clings like memory. Nothing here is straightforward, especially not riddles. You reach a grove choked in vines, lit by slats of pale green light streaming through the canopy. This is where the carvings led you, where the real puzzle begins. It's quiet in that unnerving Genshin sort of way, where every silence feels like something is watching. 3 pedestals rise before you, half swallowed by moss. On each, a stone disc, almost like a sundial, but instead of shadows, each displays small glowing sigils that shift depending on where you stand. You recognize these, part of the stone slate puzzle. Aranara glyphs, their meanings long forgotten by anyone not wrapped in leaves and childhood dreams. The clues, ironically, aren't written in text but in motion. Above you, translucent orbs float, not solid, but outlines shimmering in air, forming patterns, lines, angles, constellations, a projection of a riddle, a blueprint made of light. You remember the trick from your past attempts. You must align the discs with the orbs above, but it's more than just direction, it's resonance. The forest listens. You kneel, ear to the bark, a faint hum, different from the last. This is a note. F. You spin the first disc until it sings in harmony with the tone. The next, A, then C, F-A-C, a chord. The Aranara aren't builders, they're composers. This entire puzzle isn't architectural, it's musical. When you align them just right, the clearing tree spawns, a soft thrum, like a harp string plucked in the sky. The light shifts. In the center of the grove, a new path opens. A curtain of vines falling back to reveal a stairway of stone curling into the hillside like a snail's shell. The path forward lies through rhythm. And there, at the base of the stairs, you find it. The rhythm of the gloomy path. A new song for your lyre. A haunting little tune, 5 notes long, etched on a tablet shaped like a leaf. You lift the vintage lyre. It's more fragile than it looks, like something meant to be held in a dream, not the hand. You pluck the notes, C, D, E, B, A. Nothing happens. Then everything does. The grove sighs. That's the only way to describe it. Vines retreat, roots uncurl, and in front of you, a great tree splits open, not in violence, but like a yawn. A secret corridor reveals itself, spiraling down. It smells of wet stone and overripe fruit. You descend. Mainstream factual detail. In Genshin Impact, the rhythm of the gloomy path is one of several melodies required to interact with special Aranara mechanisms, often used to reveal hidden paths and puzzles. Quirky tidbit. The song's chord progression, F-A-C, is a real-life musical triad known as the F major chord, often associated with resolve and peaceful resolution in classical music. Open scholarly debate. Some players argue that these musical puzzles reflect ancient Vedic and Sumerian mythologies, where sound was considered a literal tool for creation, making Genshin's musical gates both thematic and metaphysical. Light joke. 1. Of course the Aranara built puzzles that only respond to tunes, because heaven forbid we solve anything with logic. Light joke. 2. If Zelda had a baby with a tree and raised it on jazz scales, this would be its basement. Light joke 3. You're not just solving puzzles anymore. You're giving a forest a concert it didn't know to RSVP'd to. The tunnel breathes. You can feel it, low and rhythmic, like something ancient is sleeping just beyond the stone. Your footsteps echo on the moss-slicked stairs, each one swallowed by a silence so deep it might as well be a sound itself. At the bottom, a chamber opens, wide and circular, shaped like a geode, glittering with bioluminescent fungi. Their glow pulses faintly, not unlike a heartbeat. In the center, on a low dais carved with swirling patterns, rests a peculiar object, Aralohita's prism. You approach. It looks simple, just a shard of crystal, no larger than a fist, but the light inside it shifts like a storm behind glass. As you lift it, your vision shudders. The chamber fades, or rather, melts. Walls dissolve into watercolor. Time softens like wax near a flame. Then you see her. A phantom, not truly flesh, a memory made visible, Aralohita. She stands in the center of the room where the dais used to be, her form woven from petals and moonlight. Her voice is a whisper through water. The answer was never mine. Only the question. The riddle. This is it. The final piece. The projection unfolds around you like theater. You see Aralohita walk the paths you did, hum the notes you played, align the stones you turned. She pauses in front of 3 symbols on the wall. A leaf, a tear, a mirror. Each one pulses when she touches it, and each one plays a sound. You realize it's a test of reflection, not just logic, but emotion. You must choose which symbol resonates with your path. The leaf, growth through suffering. The tear, the weight of choices. The mirror, self-understanding. You hesitate, then reach for the mirror. At once, the illusion collapses. You're not in the chamber anymore. You're in a place that looks like the chamber, but isn't. The bioluminescence is gone, replaced by hanging roots and stones covered in ancient script. It's a mirror world. This is Aralohita's trial, a dimension designed to test the resolve of the riddle bearer. Here, nothing attacks you, no enemies spawn. Instead, you're faced with projections of choices you've made in the game so far. Times you turned left instead of right, helped one NPC and ignored another. Echoes of alternate timelines walk around you, stare back at you, say nothing. It's eerie, unsettling, and oddly beautiful. A ghost of a version of you walks past, holding a different weapon. Another hesitates before helping an Aranara. A third simply vanishes before reaching the cave. The riddle isn't about unlocking a treasure. It's about whether you're ready to face the version of yourself who never got the answer. You sit with that thought longer than expected. Then, you step forward and press your hand to the final altar. Mainstream factual detail. Aralohita's riddle is part of a multi-step hidden quest in Sumeru, involving Aranara lore and unique puzzle mechanics that blend environmental storytelling with musical interaction. Quirky tidbit. Some players have reported that this part of the quest subtly alters depending on dialogue choices earlier in the Aranyaka questline, hinting at Genshin's underused branching logic. Open scholarly debate. Theorists still argue whether Aralohita was ever meant to be a literal character or a symbolic embodiment of player introspection, possibly a fourth wall-breaking entity reflecting the traveler's choices. Light joke 1. You're basically having an existential breakdown inside a leaf's dream journal. Light joke 2. Imagine paying for therapy, and it turns out your therapist is a talking fungus in a cave. Light joke 3. Note to self, next time someone says forest riddle, just log out. You step through the veil of the mirror world and find yourself back in the cavern's raw stone embrace. The air feels heavier now, thick with the residue of unspoken truths. The prism glows faintly in your palm, pulsing in rhythm with your heartbeat. It's as if it's alive, waiting. Ahead, a slender passage opens, winding deeper into the earth. You hesitate, breath catching in your throat, but the riddle's pull is irresistible. Each step echoes, a slow drumbeat against ancient walls covered in cryptic vines and faded murals depicting Aranara in moments of joy and sorrow. You notice a curious detail, a tiny, almost invisible carving of a laughing Aranara hidden in the corner. Legend says the Aranara hid little jokes and playful messages in their art, like whispers between friends. It makes you smile, briefly breaking the tension. At the end of the passage, you enter a chamber bathed in cold blue light. Here lies the ancient lyre, cracked and worn but still magnificent. Its strings shimmer faintly, beckoning you to play the haunting melody you've been piecing together. You lift the lyre, your fingers trembling as you pluck the notes. C, D, E, B, A. The chamber responds. The blue light intensifies, illuminating a mosaic on the floor that shifts and changes with every note. Suddenly, the mosaic reveals a hidden message, a map. It shows the path to a secret grove where Aralohita's spirit is said to linger. Your journey is almost complete, but the riddle warns, this path is not just about discovery, but about acceptance. You feel the weight of every choice, every step you've taken. The silence hums around you, filled with unspoken promises and lingering doubts. The forest is no longer just a puzzle, it's a mirror of your own resolve. Mainstream, factual detail. The ancient lyre in Genshin Impact's Aranara quests is key to unlocking hidden locations and is often associated with spiritual encounters within Sumeru's lush environments. Quirky tidbit. The tiny laughing Aranara carving is one of the few instances where the game developers inserted light-hearted Easter eggs amid otherwise solemn lore. Open scholarly debate. Players debate whether the shift in mosaic map changes based on individual playstyles or is simply a fixed design, reflecting the game's subtle encouragement of exploration. Light joke 1. Turns out, ancient musical instruments also double as cryptic GPS devices. Take that, modern tech. Light joke 2. Who knew that a forest spirit's favorite pastime was hide and seek with maps? Light joke 3. You're basically playing the world's oldest find the hidden room game. No cheat codes allowed. You emerge from the cavern, the map etched in your mind's eye guiding your steps through the emerald labyrinth of Sumeru's ancient forest. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine, as if the woods themselves breathe in anticipation. Sunlight filters through the canopy, scattering shards of gold on the mossy floor. You follow the map's winding trail, each step stirring fallen leaves and whispering secrets in the rustling breeze. Then you reach the grove. It feels otherworldly, timeless. Towering trees encircle a crystal-clear pool that mirrors the sky, still and perfect. At its center floats a single glowing petal, pulsing softly with ethereal light. This is Aralohita's resting place, a sanctuary woven from memory and magic. You kneel by the water's edge, feeling the weight of the journey settle over you like twilight. The riddle's answer isn't a treasure or secret, it's a quiet understanding, a communion between the traveler and the land. Here, in this sacred silence, you realize that every step, every choice, every unanswered question has shaped your path. The forest's mystery is yours now, a story woven into the leaves, the stones, the very air you breathe. A final breeze stirs, and the glowing petal drifts toward you, dissolving into a cascade of light that warms your skin and settles in your heart. The riddle is solved, not by unlocking a secret, but by embracing the journey itself. You stand, the grove fading softly behind you as you make your way back, changed, quiet, and whole. Mainstream factual detail. The secret grove is one of the rare, tranquil spots in Genshin Impact's Sumeru region, celebrated for its serene beauty and deep connection to Aranara lore. Quirky tidbit. Players often report a fleeting glimpse of spectral butterflies in this grove, believed to be Aranara spirits guiding travelers who show true respect. Open scholarly debate. Fans argue whether the glowing petal represents Aralohita's essence or a symbolic blessing from the forest itself. Both theories hold poetic weight. Light Joke 1, turns out the greatest treasure is a glowing flower, beats a pile of gold any day. Light Joke 2, if only every hiking trip ended with magical light shows instead of blisters. Light Joke 3, you're officially part of the Forest Club now. Membership perks include occasional ghostly butterflies. The forest exhales around you, a slow, deliberate breath that carries the scent of moss and rain-warmed stone. The glow of the grove lingers behind closed eyes, a gentle pulse in the quiet dark. It's not a place you can hold on to, more a memory, a whisper threading through your thoughts. You feel the weight of countless footsteps before yours, those who sought the riddle, each drawn into the same dance of shadow and light. Their voices echo softly in the rustling leaves, a chorus of hope, doubt, and wonder. And now, your story folds into theirs, stitched into the tapestry of this ancient wood. There's no grand reveal, no triumphant shout, just the slow settling of answers like sediment in clear water, sometimes murky, sometimes shimmering with unexpected clarity. The riddle wasn't a puzzle to solve, but a mirror held up to your own reflection. You stand at the forest's edge, twilight folding the sky into shades of violet and gold. The path behind you is gone, replaced by soft earth and the promise of new mysteries. This journey leaves you changed, not by what you found, but by what you dared to seek. So when the shadows gather again and the whispers call your name, remember this quiet truth. Some riddles are not meant to be solved, they are meant to be lived. Sweet dreams.